First up, we have Anthony Rice, Chief Growth Officer at PeoplePartners, who is a sought after speaker on a range of topics like workforce engineering, segmentation versus duplication, and the law of constraint. Together with his co founder, Ruben Brennan, he's founded an international business with offices in South Africa and the Philippines and works with clients in Australia, Singapore, and the US. Today, Anthony is sharing two very real case studies with us, one for a micro business and one for a large company, to illustrate how workforce engineering and offshoring can really explode your efficiency and results. So, with that, I'd like to hand over to Anthony.
Excellent. Thanks, Cav. And of course, in typical fashion, like all of us on this call, I've changed what I'm going to be doing 10 times. So whether that's what I'm doing or not, we're going to find out. We thought 4 slides could be good. I figured 14 sounds about better, but we'll see. All right. Can everyone see this?
We can. It's not in SlideShare mode though.
It's coming. Can you see that?
Perfect.
Wonderful. All right, guys. So yeah, obviously, purpose of today isn't necessarily to speak too much about people partners, but just to give you the context of where my thinking is. It's very, very easy to speak for 2 hours and teach and educate regarding offshoring and workforce engineering. And it's very easy to talk for 30 seconds, but 8 minutes, somewhat difficult. But let's see what we can do. And I just love some questions as well, because ultimately, every one of you on this call, this will resonate with no matter which way you cut it. So People Partners, we help with offshoring for your business. And we do that, as Cav said, through the Philippines and South Africa. Now, let's start on a quick journey here, okay? Because here's the thing, okay? What do you want in your business right now? Whenever we speak to businesses, this is what they're going to be wanting. They're going to be wanting more flexibility, more choices, more freedom, more leverage, more revenue, more profit, more scale. Ultimately, that equals more time or more money. There's going to be some of you on this call that are millionaires and have massive freedom. Some of you on here that have just started a business. Some of you watching this recording that might have 600 staff. Some of you watching this meeting and recording that have no staff. Wherever you're at, chances are you're wanting one or more of both of those things. So when we have more time, what we normally come to a conclusion of is that as leaders and entrepreneurs, we need to be doing less or more with less, excuse me. So we've always don't have enough time and money. So we need to do more with that time and that money. And that comes by being innovative in every division or function of your business. Now, of course, I do know there are people on this call with no staff and no scale yet, and you're on a journey. And there are people on this call or watching the recording later that could have hundreds of staff. So I'm trying to speak very quickly to both groups. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, is you need to get your head around leveraging your efforts through finding the best quality staff, not just in Australia, but around the world, and focus on reducing labor costs to grow bigger, faster, keep more profit, etc. And what you want to do, therefore, is you want to focus on any role that you're looking at to amplify that person's productivity and to amplify the company's productivity, okay? And as I was just saying into a breakout room, sometimes this whole offshoring or looking at other ways to be innovative and more profitable is actually all about making your onshore staff more productive and more happy, not about taking jobs offshore. And that's what I tend to speak on. So today, I'm just going to focus on point 2 and point 3, just to give you a context in the few minutes we've got. The context that outsourcing and offshoring can work for you with roles you know you need and with roles you don't even know you need. So what does that mean? The roles you know you need, just on the breakout session, obviously that particular member, they employ a marketing person offshore. But when I started to speak about the fact that every area of your business, anyone that works just via a phone or a computer, you can absolutely offshore and outsource that responsibility. So these are roles that you know you need. You may have these roles in Australia, you may not, but they exist, you know them, and at some point you go, I need a bookkeeper, I need an accountant, I need an IT manager, I need someone in social media marketing. They exist. And obviously there's a wealth of opportunity overseas for those roles. But what we thought would be cool in the handful of minutes we had today was just about what about the roles that you don't know that you need. So let's pick on those of you that are just starting out in terms of scale. Maybe you've been around and you've been profitable for years, but now's the time you are just time poor and you need to do something. So this is an easy one. I don't have 20 slides on this one. This is just to teach you a principle. And I somewhat spoke to Cav about this on a podcast. What we all want to do when you are a micro business or a solopreneur and you're thinking about hiring your first staff, you want to focus on getting as many of the things you love to do up in this top quadrant and get rid of as much junk as you can to the bottom right quadrant. So ultimately, this process has got a lot of attention lately in a lot of books and social media and different systems out there. And it has a loose name called Elevate and Delegate. Okay. So this is the principle, whether you're looking at like roles in your business right now where people are at constraint, or whether you are looking at starting your first team member and how could I have them do what I only know how to do. The game plan is for you to stick up in that top quadrant, everything that you love to do and are good at, and then start to move your way around as you delegate it. Okay. There's no limit to what you could do when you do this exercise. Okay. So whether it's mortgage brokers, whether it's lawyers, whether it's coaches, whether it's in marketing, this is how you're going to pick your first and second staff. There's nothing difficult about it. You've just got to get used to letting go, and you let go of the stuff you're not good at and you don't have time for. Okay. But how's this for speed, Cav? I know you got to chase everyone up. I think I'm going super fast, maybe even too fast. I might even have time for questions.
No, you're all right. You got another 3 minutes.
Oh, easy. Cool. Okay. So let's now cut into a bigger organization. And what I'm going to do is look at a training organization that we were supporting. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm only going to look at the top of the funnel. There you go. For those marketers out there, top of the funnel. I bet your ears pricked up then, didn't it? So I'm not going to look at their training department. I'm not going to look at their ops department. I'm not going to look at their finance. I'm not going to look at HR. I'm only going to grab one slice of the company, and that is marketing and entry into the company. This was the business when we started working with them. They spent $10,000 a month on lead gen. I'm sure some of you in marketing would want that being spent with you. They have 5 BDMs on the road, salaries, car, tolls, super, 750K. Then they had 3 admin assistants doing everything and anything, 270,000. But it wasn't efficient. They were going backwards. They were spending $1.14 million just to get leads into the next part of their business, which was the training team. So this is what we did. We said, okay, instead of, let's look at that top, instead of that lead gen and paying someone else to do it, and sorry guys, just because you're in marketing doesn't mean you're being excluded. It's a short conversation. There's so many ways that we do things with amazing marketing consultants out there. But we said in this company's case, they needed to own their IP. They needed to bring a marketing manager in-house. Then we needed to look at a social media marketing coordinator, a graphic designer, and a copywriter. So we broke lead gen into 4 full-time hires from the Philippines for them, $55,000. We then grabbed all those BDMs, and because most of them weren't functional and they were on their way out anyway, the company picked their top 2, and we basically segmented their role and gave them each a sales coordinator, which is effectively an assistant to do all that admin work for them. So data entry, email follow-up, proposals, etc. They were in an industry where we could also hire recruiters to get them leads. Now, if we kept those in Australia, that would be 360,000 with the 2 sales coordinators, the 2 recruiters, and the 2 BDMs. If we kept the BDMs to do online work through South Africa, 130. And then we broke those 3 admin people into 4 very specific admin roles with narrow swimming lanes that related to this industry. It won't relate to yours necessarily. Now, what you can see there is that then created, instead of 1.14 million back here, this new structure was either 230,000 or 460,000. Okay. So straight away, the cost comparisons are insane. But if we had more time, what I would show you would be across a whole range of the other divisions that we worked in, training, finance, resource, and there was another area as well. We were actually able to make all the onshore staff so much more productive, fulfilled, and happy because we were taking away the grunt work from their roles, whether it was in HR and we were getting HR coordinators, whether it was recruitment and we were getting recruitment coordinators. It was taking away the admin burden that stopped the onshore staff being strategic, and that made them happier and healthier. So that was super quick. I was conscious I wanted to be the only person that Cav didn't have to hurry up. So quick, I know I probably confused people, but there's a couple of ideas there as to how we work with leaders to scale profitable and efficient organizations. And it comes from, either looking at the constraints in your business where they are, or looking at the constraints of yourself and then segmenting that to find key people.
Thank you, Anthony. Those are some really compelling numbers there. So thanks for sharing. And if you want to chat with Anthony, all his details are on BackBone already, but we will be sending out these slides post the call as well as a recording. So you can check that out.